We get ready for tonight's game in Midland. Sod Poodles broadcaster Sam Levitt with you, and right now I'm joined by San Diego Padres General Manager A.J. Preller. Well, A.J., welcome to the Texas League. Appropriately, a very hot day here in Midland. What do you want to get out of this trip?
A quick trip in to see the Sod Poodles. I know they've been playing really good, and I think just an opportunity just to see the guys here as we get down to the stretch, get a sense of where guys are from a progress standpoint. See guys in spring training now, be able to catch up a little bit, and just lay eyes on the team and catch up with Welly and with JJ and the coaching staff.
The big trade deadline acquisition was Taylor Trammell. Big acquisition here in Amarillo as well. What was it about Taylor Trammell that the organization really liked?
Yeah, I think Taylor. We've got a lot of history as a scouting group with Taylor. He was a guy in the draft when he came out as a high school player from the Georgia area that we had a lot of interest in. Didn't get a chance, to really make the selection, but you just keep following him, and he's a guy that he brings a lot to the table in terms of it's an athlete that's swings the bat well. He's got power. It's a power speed combo guy that gets on base. And like we saw last night, he played in the middle of the field, made a great catch in right center in right center field. So. I think when you get around him, he's a really intelligent player, intelligent person, and just felt like it was a guy that we wanted to add to the mix.
He'll play center field almost every day here in Amarillo, which is a little bit different than what he did in Chattanooga with the Reds. So developmentally, the rest of this year, what do you want to see from Taylor?
Yeah, I think just being comfortable. I think just getting him to be himself and go out and do the things that he can do on the field. Getting comfortable with this team. It's a good club that has a chance, we think, to probably look out and win a Texas League championship and just have them go out and contribute and have fun with the guys.
This team playing very well, 23-11 since the beginning of July, and certainly Taylor hopefully will be a big part of that to come as well. Another guy that got the promotion to Double-A semi-recently is MacKenzie Gore. We know what MacKenzie did at High A, so highly touted. I know you're extremely high on him. Just your thoughts about what MacKenzie's done this year and his future moving forward.
Yeah, MacKenzie, he's had, to this point, he's had a great year. I think everything that we've asked him to do, he's gone out last year. He had some issues with his, with a fingernail and a blister. He worked really hard this year to come back and basically go out and then be able to take the ball every 5 days. And what he did in the Cal League, it was dominant. And honestly, it was, I think what we were hoping for and expecting, he kind of exceeded that for the year. I think get a chance to get a taste of Double-A action here these last 3 or 4 starts, and we'll see how the last month plays out for him.
Well, you've had the chance to watch this team for a night. Now you'll watch them again here tonight. I know you follow along the numbers and what your staff tells you about the players here at Double-A. Are there any guys that have stood out to you either last night or just following along this season?
Yeah, I watch all the time. We watch in Petco and on the road, watch the broadcasts. It's a fun team to watch. I think the biggest thing that stands out with the group is, they're just solid at every spot. You look around the field, and honestly, you could look up in pretty much every position. They have a guy that, my guess is either, in Luis Duran's case, has touched the big leagues or has a chance to touch the big leagues. And I think you see like a really well-balanced club, and you see guys that are versatile, especially in the infield with guys like Castillo and Owen Miller, Hudson Potts that could bounce around. Pete Van Gansen, and the outfield the same thing. With Trammell now, Olivares, who's had a great year, Buddy Reed. We've got 3 center fielders, so it's a nice team. I think it's a balanced team, and it's good to come out here and see him a day or two in person.
Philip Wellman has been with the organization a number of years. Same thing with pitching coach Jimmy Jones. Throughout the course of the year, especially considering that there have been a number of guys now that have gone straight from Double-A to the big leagues, whether it's a Chris Paddock or Fernando Tatis Jr. or an Adrian Morajón and a Michel Baez, how often are you in communication with Welly and JJ about what's going on down here?
Yeah, most of my communication goes through Sam Gainey, goes through Ben Sestanovich. Those guys are in touch with the staff here all the time. But honestly, there's I think there's different points in the season where there's a phone call to Welly, get his take or his feel either on a player or something that's going on in the Texas League. But our guys, they do a great job, like from a player development standpoint of having that communication, and that's why it's always good to get out to the affiliates and see the guys and get a chance to see the players yourself, but especially get a chance to spend a little time with with Welly, JJ, Raul Pedron, get their takes on things, and and be able to provide any answers that they have to some questions.
And getting back to that point about promoting players from Double-A to the big leagues, you guys made a big splash during spring training, doing that with Chris Paddock and Fernando Tatis Jr., and they were ready. They performed at a very high level. So what is the organizational philosophy right now on promoting guys from Double-A who are talented and can contribute at the big league level, but also making sure they're 100% ready?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general we talk about it a lot, Sam and Ben, from a development standpoint of just accelerating the progress of the gifted, and we've got some gifted players in our farm system right now. So, each player is different, though. Honestly, we look at it on an individual basis with Chris Paddock and Fernando Tatis. We felt that those guys were, they had earned the opportunity to come up and compete at the big league level, and so far they're having nice rookie seasons. I think everybody's going to be a little different, So I think from our staff standpoint, we try to set pretty clear and simple, in terms of development plans for each guy. When guys check those boxes, then they get an opportunity to go up, and we want to challenge guys. We don't want guys to get stale at a level. So, if guys haven't gotten quite to that point, there's been other players in the system that repeat levels and potentially stay at a spot until we feel like, from a player development plan, they've mastered the things we've wanted them to do.
San Diego Padres GM AJ Preller joining us as we get ready for tonight's game in Midland. A little bit of a different question. It's been such a beauty to watch a new team in Amarillo, a new fan base embrace minor league baseball and embrace the Padres organization. And one thing I've noticed is that there are so many kids, teenagers who are now interested in minor league baseball and maybe trying to become a major league general manager one day. So for somebody out there watching who dreams of being in your position one day, here in 2019, with the way the game has changed, what pieces of advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing, from my experiences, the biggest thing is if you love something, you to me, ultimately, from what I tried to do, it's hard to get your foot in the door in baseball. Obviously a lot of people want to work in the game, but to me, if you're willing to sacrifice and do anything, start, we're in a situation where you're willing to start, quote unquote, at the bottom and get your foot in the door. If somebody feels like you're going to bring them some value, then they'll give you more opportunity. And what you do with that opportunity depends on, kind of what path you go down. So, it's there's no secrets to it. It's like anything else. It's hard to get involved with, but once you do get your foot in the door and you're willing to, to take some chances and you're willing to really probably do some grunt work at the beginning. Ultimately, if somebody feels you can bring them some value, that'll lead to more opportunity and more chances in the industry.
AJ, thanks so much for the time. It is great to have you here, and enjoy the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.